If you'd like to change the course that you have been placed in by KUCCPS, but you don't want to do this on the portal, you want to do it directly at the university, this video is going to give you all the details that you need to understand, including the step-by-step process of changing at the university, the qualifications that you need, and what you need to understand when it comes to changing courses at the university level. Welcome to EduSens Africa. I bring you weekly videos about your educational and your career journey. I help you to understand the options that you have, and I also bring you the current affairs and news happening in the education and in the career sectors in Kenya. Now, if you'd like to change the options that you've been given by KUCCPS, there are two ways in which you can do this. One of the ways is by changing it on the KUCCPS portal directly, and the other way is to go and change it directly at the university. I have already done a video where I have explained to you step by step on how to do the transfer on KUCCPS portal. If you'd like to explore this option, just go through my channel and check for this video. I'll also be linking it at the end of this video, and in the comment section you'll be able to get all the details and all the requirements. But if you're interested in changing your options at the university, I'm going to explain to you all the details in this video. Make sure that you watch to the very end, because I will give you the tips and what you need to understand before you decide you want to do this and you want to do it at the university level. This particular transfer that is done at the university is called Intra-Institutional Transfer. It means that you wait until you join the university, and then you can be able to do the transfer within the university because KUCCPS is not involved. This whole process is just directly by the university, which also means that you are only going to be changing the course, but you are going to stay in the same university. For example, maybe you decided to do engineering, and then once the selection came out, you've changed your minds and now you want to do medicine. You can be able to shift from engineering to medicine, but you have to keep it within the same university. If it's KU, you will remain in KU. If it's UAN or if it's any other university, you will simply change the courses, but you will remain in the same university. This process also has requirements, and the first requirement is that you must be eligible or you must qualify for the course that you want to go into. If you are selected for nursing, for example, and you want to go into medical laboratory science, you must be eligible to do medical laboratory science, in that your cluster points must meet the cluster points of the course you want to go into. The subject requirements must also be met. If the new course requires you to do chemistry, biology, physics, or any other subject, you must have already done it, and it must be reflected in your KCSE results for you to be eligible to transfer from where you are placed to the new course that you want to go into. So make sure that if you want to transfer, you check the subject requirements of the new course you want to do, and you ensure that it actually aligns with the subjects that you did and with the grades that you scored. The second requirement is that there must be available spaces. You know that sometimes when they allocate people, a class can be full. Normally if it takes 50 students and that is the maximum, they will not take any more. It means there are no available spaces. But if people applied and maybe some did not go or others dropped off, or for one reason or the other, there are still spaces available, they can be able to accept transfers from other courses. Therefore, take note that the results of this transfer you want to do will also depend on whether there are available spaces or not. The third requirement is that some universities, and this depends on the different institutions or different universities, some of them will look at your academic standing. They will look at your KCSE grade, and they will also look at how you have performed in the first year that you've been in this university or the first semester that you've been in this university. This is because there's usually a transfer period that is allowed from once you check in into that university up to a certain period. Sometimes they allow you to transfer after the first semester or after the results of the first year, or at a specific period during your first year. This you have to make sure that you check the university immediately you go, so that you don't miss out on this period, because once the period ends, you cannot be able to do university transfers. So they will look at some of the grades that you got. If it's after the first year, if it's after the first semester, they will look at your performance or your transcript to be able to determine if you are eligible to do the transfer or not. If you have met all the requirements and you are within the transfer period, the period between which you are allowed to transfer, this is the step-by-step process. You first of all need to go and visit the academic or the department office, because they are supposed to be notified about this transfer and they are the ones who will take care of everything. When you go to the department office, they will give you a form, a transfer form, where you will fill in all the details, and they will also ask you to attach some documents, for example, your transcript, your KCSE certificate, and so on and so forth. This will just depend on the university and the specific requirements of the university that you are going to join. Once you fill in and submit these documents, there's going to be some time whereby the department you are leaving and the department you are joining has to approve. They both have to approve that they accept you to leave this department, and the other department accepts to receive you. Once this has been done, they will also give you a letter which you will take to the new department to prove that you are actually changing courses from the previous department to the new department. Now, I need you to be very, very careful here, because doing the transfer and it being successful is not the end of the road. You need to be very, very careful about the following things. One is, please make sure that you communicate with the HELB officers as well, so that you understand if your HELB loan is going to be affected in any way. Sometimes when you change from one course to another, it might affect the duration. You might be coming from a 4-year course to a 5-year course, or there'll be other changes involving the duration. You need to confirm with the HELB that it will not interrupt your HELB loan, and if it will, you need to submit in all the documents that they can rectify everything for you, and it will not affect the status of your HELB loan. The second thing you need to take note of is you might need to resit some units if, for example, you missed out on them in the first year or the second year, and if they're an absolute requirement in the new course that you are getting into. So just make sure that you take note of this and you start preparing early, so that you can catch up before it becomes too much once you start the new year that you are getting into, or the new semester that you are getting into. Also remember that the duration for you to finish your studies and graduate might change depending on the duration of the two courses, and depending on whether you will finish and submit all the units that are required of you in the time that you've been allocated. So before you are happy and you decide you've settled into the new course, just make sure that you check all these things so that you don't miss out on anything that is important. If you're planning to do a university transfer, please let me know in the comment section if this video has been helpful to you, or if you have any other questions, just let me know in the comment section and I will make sure that I get back to you with my responses. Also share this video with anyone that you might think may benefit from it, because you never know. People are looking out for information and some of them don't even know that this channel exists and it can help them to sort out some of these problems. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Allow me to share with you some good news that I've been working on behind the scenes. I'm only going to take 1 minute of your time. I've received several messages of people needing me to guide them on specific courses in terms of marketability, where they can work, where they can study, the salaries to expect, and every other detail that is important before you can select a course. I do offer one-on-one consultations to guide people at an individual level, but some of you have requested for more affordable alternatives. This is why I have come up with PDFs on specific courses and specific career paths. So far, I have 2 of such guides. One is in the geospatial and geomatics science and engineering, and the next one is the medical and health sector in Kenya. Many people only know about medicine, pharmacy, and dentistry, but I can tell you there are more than 10 fields in the medical sector that you can learn from certificate, diploma, and degree. These are guides that you can actually download on your phone and be able to read it anywhere you are, even share it with your parents if you need to discuss before you can settle on any course. I'll be putting the links in the comment section, in the description box, and on your screen as well. If you have a child who's currently in high school and they are exploring courses to do, don't wait until they finish and then they have to rush, because they need time to understand these courses and to know what to expect before they can even choose it. It is very affordable. Visit the link and purchase one for yourself, for your child, or for someone that you care about.